Hello, welcome to day number 21. I was a little bit unprepared then. I was having a little bit of a technical thing going on. Welcome everyone. Really much needed stretch today, I think, for everyone, for day number 21. And ready for go into week number 4. Final week. How exciting. Right. Frankie, you going to stay there? He's going to be really annoying today, isn't he? I can see it. Anyway, I just want you to start with some shoulder rolls. Really opening out those shoulders. We're going to do lots of full body stretching, but lots of upper back, shoulders. I know lots of people's shoulders are hurting today. So yeah, just a little bit of everywhere today. And quite a bit of mobility as well. That's it, big shoulder rolls. Concentrate on your breathing, inhaling through your nose, exhaling out your mouth. Just releasing that tension in those shoulders. Ooh. And I want you to take one hand over on your head and drop it over to the side and give me a big arm circle here on the other side. Big arm circle. Just let your head hang over to the side and circling it one way and the other. Big circle, opening out those shoulders, opening out the chest. Feel that tension releasing in your neck. And just pause it there. And taking your head slightly further forward. Feel that nice stretch coming down the side and back of your neck. And over to the other side. Big arm circles. And the other way. And pause it there. And just take your head slightly further forward. And release off. And just circle your head around one way and the other. Oh, crack, crack, crack going on. Oh. And look to the left and to the right. And I want you to take one hand and grab hold of your wrist. So you're like this, okay? And you're going to pull it across, pull that arm across your body, opening out your chest. Pull it across. Big breaths. And bringing it in front and pulling it across your chest. Try to keep that arm straight. And the other side, pulling it away from you. Big breaths. And in front, pulling it in towards your chest. And release off, clasping your hands together now, pushing your chest out. And folding down, bending at your waist, lifting those arms up overhead. Letting your upper body just hang down. Big breaths. And rolling back up. dropping your hands down to underneath your bum, relaxing through those shoulders. Just tilt your head to the one side. Really pull those arms down and to the other side. And release off. Coming down into a light squat position, we're going to cross our arms over. As we slight squat position, we're going to slide our arms out in a cross position. So just sliding your arms out and get nice and low, dropping your head down, keeping your arms straight if you can, all the way down towards your elbows, and then push your knees apart. For that nice shoulder stretch, upper back. Looking down between your legs. Big breaths. Push those knees wide. And rolling up. I'm going to cross my arms over the other way. And coming down, sliding those arms out. Pushing those knees apart. Dropping your head down. Big breaths. And rolling up. Coming into a wider stance now, sliding your hands down the front of your legs to your knees. And just pausing here and just dropping one shoulder. And the other side. Don't forget to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And the other side. Sorry, I've got my washing machine on. My dishwasher even, it's going to buzz in a minute. I thought it would have finished by now. If you can hear an annoying noise. And the other side. And to the center. I just want you to round up for your back, really pulling up and then straightening through, rounding up and straightening, rounding up, really pull, 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 pull. Breathe. Inhale as you straighten. Exhale as you round. And just give me a little wiggle here. Oh, I'm feeling that in my sides. Ab work, all the obliques. That's it, just give me a little wiggle. Shaking those shoulders. And rolling up. Taking a wider stance now. Bringing our hands down towards the ground. Letting our upper body hang down. I'm going to take my right hand over towards my left foot, and if you can, just grab the outside of your foot, okay? And I just want you to bend the right knee slightly down into like a deep lunge and pull away. Feel that nice stretch on your shoulders and your back. So I'm bending my left knee slightly and I'm pulling away. Big breaths. Feeling a nice stretch on my inner thighs, my hamstrings, all down my back. And straightening those legs back up. Just rotating to the side, almost like I'm trying to reach behind, and then coming back forward and bending that right knee again and pulling away. Place your other hand, your left hand, wherever feels most comfortable. Big breaths. And releasing off. And bringing your left hand over to your right foot. And bend the left knee slightly. Pull away. And coming up to straight, I'm just rotating round. And again, bend that left knee, pull away. Remember, when I'm doing any of my stretches, if there's anything you feel real benefit from, I'd like you to try and include it into your daily routine. And release off. And bringing your hands back round to the center. And I'm going to reach my left hand up towards the ceiling, looking up at my hand. Big breaths. And I'm just rocking forward and back just slightly. Place your hands a little bit further forward so you feel a nice stretch coming through your shoulders. And that's it, rock forward, place that hand, walk that hand a little bit further forward. Rock forward and back, pushing as if you're trying to push your armpit through your legs. And taking that hand down, lifting up the other hand. And walking that hand forward, pushing back, forward and back. That's it, as if you're pushing that armpit through your legs, down towards the ground. And hands come back down together. Walk those hands forward and really push back. Big breaths. Try and relax through those shoulders, don't hunch them up. Slight bend in your knees now. Walk those hands a little bit further forward if you can. Big breaths. And I'm just going to drop one shoulder and the other. Like I'm trying to get one armpit down to the ground and then the other. Little rotations. And straightening out those legs. And again, little rotations, lifting one shoulder and the other. Breathe. And walking those hands in, rolling up. Oh, that felt good. Stepping in now. Running your hands so feet together or hip width apart. Running your hands down the front of your legs, resting on your knees. And we're going to arch for our back and then round. Inhale, exhale, round. Really pulling those shoulder blades up. and sliding our hands all the way down to the ground, grabbing hold of your toes. So my fingertips are just coming under my toes, and I'm going to bend through my knees and then pull up, pulling at my toes, pulling away, pushing my toes into the ground. Big breaths. Relax through those shoulders. Slight bend in those knees. Really pull away. And I'm just going to rock from side to side. And relaxing down, straightening for your back. And then again, pulling away. This time, I'm going to straighten one leg and then the other, pushing my hips back, rocking from side to side as I pull, pulling at my feet, my toes, pushing my toes into the ground. Relax through those shoulders. And release off, rolling back up. Crack, crack, crack. Just have a little rotation here. Sliding your hands down one side and the other. And then hands come together, just rotating one side to the other. And we're going to come down to the mat now. I'm just going to have a drink. Frankie. Sorry, boy. I'm just going to have to go there. Yeah, so go sleep. Go sleep. Go sleep. Go sleep. So annoying. Okay, bringing one knee forward. I'm going to come deep. In fact, I'm going to go this side first. So I'm going to come deep into my hip flexor stretch. So just reaching forward. That's it. You got it, Frankie. You stay over there. Reaching forward, feeling that stretch on your hip flexor and trying to give me a few pelvic tilts here. So I'm trying to tilt my pelvis under, feeling that greater hip flexor stretch. And sitting nice and deep. I'm going to take this arm up, so the opposite side to your knee is raised. Oh, big circle round. And taking my hand down to the ground, the inside of my knee, placing that down, reaching up towards the ceiling. And placing the other hand down and reaching up. And both hands come down. And just rocking back and forward. So lifting the toes up on your heel. And coming all the way up. I want you to flick this leg round so you're facing forward. And then come back deep into that hip flexor stretch. Hand comes down, grabbing hold of my foot. Reaching up towards the ceiling. Big reaches up. And coming forward, hands come down, straighten that leg. And coming back up. And bringing that leg back. We're going to go to the other side. Deep into that hip flexor stretch. Just give me a couple of pelvic tilts here, really pushing into that hip flexor stretch. And I'm going to take my hand down. No, first I'm going to give me some arm circles first. And placing that hand down and reaching up towards the ceiling. And hand comes down and reaching up the other side. Hands come down, just rocking forward and back. Feeling that right at the top of my hamstrings there. And then coming up and flicking this leg round. And coming back deep into your hip flexor stretch, reaching up. And straightening that leg. And coming back. Coming onto our bums. Take one leg out to straight. The other leg is up to here. Hands come behind your back. Sitting out nice and wide. I'm just going to drop this knee down to the ground and lift. 2, 3, opening out those hips. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it up. This hand comes around, grabs hold of my foot, leaning forward. Really push in. Really good for hip mobility, this one. And I'm going to drop that knee down. Feel that nice stretch that's coming down my back. Big breaths. That feel, I need this stretch. Mid back. And then I'm going to take my other hand over, grabbing hold of the outside of my foot. The other hand comes back behind me. And I'm going to pull away, pull up my foot. Drop that shoulder. Be inclined to hunch up. Drop, relax through that shoulder. I'm just pushing my foot. Feel a nice stretch that's coming from your neck down your shoulder. And I'm going to lean forward, rocking forward and back. And then I'm going to really reach round to the side. Hand comes around, really reach round. And then take your hand over and grabbing hold of your outside of your foot this way round this time, and really rotate as far around as you can. And I'm going to push my knee up if I can. Just pushing it, really feel that nice stretch in your shoulders. Remember to try not to hunch through your shoulder. Big breaths. And release off. Ah, that felt good. Bring your other knee in. Hands behind, just drop that knee down to the ground and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. Hand comes over, grabbing hold of the outside of my foot. And I'm going to lean in. Really lean forward as far as you can. And then I'm just going to drop that knee down. Big breaths, relax through that shoulder. And push out. This time I'm going to grab hold of my foot the other way. I have to lift my foot up this side. Really reach round. I'm just going to rock, pushing that knee out. Definitely feel tighter this side. Remember to relax through that shoulder, drop it down. And relax off. Ooh. I'm going to come forward now. I'm going to bring one leg back. So I'm in this position, one leg back, toe pointing out. And I'm going to come down onto my elbows. And try and push that knee into the ground. If you can, coming all the way down. Trying to push that knee into the ground. And coming back up. And straightening that leg, and the other knee comes in. Down onto your elbows. And if you can, all the way down. And coming back up. Coming into a 90-90 position. Now we're going to go back to that stretch in a moment. Okay, so what I want you to do is you created a square here. Okay. a square here and a square here. I want you to grab hold of your foot. Other hand comes out to the side and you're going to lean down towards the ground. Dropping your forehead down if you can. And I'm going to come up and I'm just going to rock, lean into my foot and back. Really pushing in. Push. Holding it here. A nice glute stretch. A nice hip opener. And coming up. And lifting that knee up. Going over to the other side. Creating that square shape. I'm just going to move over. Grabbing hold of my foot. And leaning forward. And coming up and just rocking to the side. Leaning in towards my foot. And pause it there. And coming up. Okay, I want you to take your knees nice and wide now, feet together, knees wide. Reaching down to the ground, walking those hands forward, dropping your head down. Big breaths. And rounding up. Taking one hand behind, reaching, pushing your hips forward, reaching over. Big breaths. And coming back down, walking your hands forward, dropping your head. Big breaths. Rounding up, taking one hand, the other hand behind, pushing your hips forward, reaching far back. And coming back, reaching back down. Big breaths. And rounding back up. From this position, I'm going to come up. I'm going to go around to this side so you can see me better. Nice wide knees. And I'm going to reach forward and I'm going to flick that leg out. And back. flick the other leg out and back. Really dropping my hip down to the ground. That's it, and hold it back, dropping your head back down. And coming back up onto your hands, I just want you to push your feet out now. Feet out as wide as you can. And I just want you to rock forward and back here. And then taking your feet back together and coming down now onto our backs. I think I drank way too much salty food last night. Rolling down, feet come nice and wide. And I'm just going to drop my knees over to one side and then over to the other side, just letting them just fall down, one side and the other. And then holding them down on one side, and then lift this leg up and just cross it over so it's just tapping the top of that knee, and just let your body hang down. Let that knee just fall down. And release off, and over to the other side. Bottom leg comes over your knee or your thigh and drop down. I will feel this side more. A nice pull on my back. And releasing off. Bring your feet a little bit closer towards you now. I'm just going to drop my knees down to the ground. Really pushing that knee down, and take this leg out. That nice stretch is coming up, all the way up. And over to the other side, dropping that knee down. Bring that leg out as far as you can. Grab hold of it if you need to. And back up. This time bring your knees up, and we're going to take, if you do the same side as me, so I'm going to take my right leg down. So we're going to do the 90-90. Right leg down, left leg comes up high and drops down to the side. So you're in your 90-90 position that we're doing with a square. Big breaths. And coming back up. Create that 90-90 position and rotate over. Don't forget to breathe. And coming back up. Just tuck those knees in and just rock from side to side. And coming all the way up. Just roll all the way up. From a seated position, I'm just going to grab hold of my foot. Okay, so I'm clasping my hands around my foot and then I'm going to push away. Really push that leg forward. Breathe. Relax through those shoulders, don't hunch. Straightening that leg up if you can. And bend that knee again, pulling it in towards your chest and then pulling away. I'm just doing a little shoulder rock. And releasing down, grabbing hold of the other foot, pushing away. And straighten, push away. And pulling it in towards my chest and pushing away. And releasing down. Taking your legs to straight, folding forward, reaching past your feet if you can, dropping your head down. Big breaths. And pulling down a little bit further if you can. Rolling up, bringing your feet in, hands together, grabbing hold of your arms to your shoulders, and push away. Try not to hunch those shoulders. I keep saying that because I do it. It's a little cue for me to drop because I feel like going, Grah. Or pull a bit further. I'm just going to rock from side to side. Pull, 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 pull. And reaching forward. And pull back. Ooh. Coming into cross-legged position. Or Cheryl, if you can't go cross-legged, just come out here. Okay, placing my elbow down to the ground, reaching over. Big breaths. And elbow down, reaching over. And coming back up, feet together. Come up to this position. And I just want you to rock here, pushing those heels down. And slowly coming up to standing position, straightening through those legs, letting your upper body hang, and rolling up. Placing your hands behind your back, dropping those hands down so they're almost like cupping your bum. Drop that head to the side and to the other side. Big shoulder rolls, coming out to a hip width apart, big circles. Rotations, loosening out, quick rotations. And have a shake out. That was a much needed stretch, I think. I hope you enjoyed it. And roll on, week number 4. Yeah, much needed stretch. Please comment on the post that I put in the group. Let me know if you enjoyed that stretch. And have a fabulous day. And I will see you all either tomorrow or later for my Q&A. Catch you later.